peeps. Oh, we're zoomed in. Hang on. Are we zoomed in? No, we're not zoomed in. We're just very low. It's Adele from Inkie Quill, and I have got something that you haven't seen before. So they're so giant that I may have to work out a different way to do my tripod. These are my school art books back. So this is my year 9 one, and it's filled with all sorts of goodies. And then my year 10 one, which is ginormous, and then my year 11 one, because they just grew every year. So I thought for today's video I would show you I don't know if I'll get through all of them today. We might get through 2 of them and then I've got my year 12 one down there as well. So we might do 2 today and then 2 another time, and show you a bit of an Inkie rewind, I think I'm going to call it, and show you how I used to be creative and whatnot. And I haven't actually looked through these again yet, but they were lots. I was the art nerd at school, and they're filled, absolutely filled with all sorts of my artistic experiments, and yeah, I just thought it would be fun to show you. So I'm going to see if I can work I can get most of it in. Yeah, I might just have to do it like this a little bit. So I actually had the same art teacher so in our Australian high school is year 7 to year 12, and I had the same art teacher from year 8 to year 12, and I was the school art nerd, so everyone had this size diary, but they didn't decorate it like I did. This is way before scrapbooking, way before any of that, but it'll be fun, I think, to see some of the things that I used to do. So I was the art nerd at school. I came first in art every year from year 7 to 12, and basically I was just well known as the art person. So we jump in. So this is year 9, so here I am 13, I think, because I started high school when I was 11, 12, 13, yeah, so I was 13, 14 when doing this. And so, oh, look at that. I used to like matting, so I liked my layers even back then. I used to paint on pages. Oh wow, this is just sending me back. This is us learning the properties of art, properties of like compositions, and it's a little piece that I drew. Put some paper there just to cover it up. See, even back then, using whiteout as I like to use whiteout now in my journals, and I was even using it back then. Oh, nice black and white squares for the tone picture, and then just a page of flowers, because you know what, why not, I was obsessed with this curly like writing that I used to do. Obviously that was a picture showing something. This, I remember, was my favorite page in the whole thing. It took me so long, and I used, if anyone's of my vintage, like a 90s child, connector, Faber-Castell had these connector textures, and they were the bomb diggity, and everyone had them. And so I know that I had just gotten a new set of textures and I wanted to try them out, so I did this kind of pattern. This would be really cool in an art journal now. I would like to replicate this, I think, so I'll keep that in mind. I might actually do an art journal page like inspired by my older art books. Some little puzzle pieces that I drew. This is so 13-year-old girl, like all of these doodles. We had to do diary entries, I remember, talking about like what we were learning about. There's another one of those. I was obsessed with textures, you can tell. So this is the start of the year, so I would have had an actual proper set of textures, and they weren't missing or already run out. Here we're learning all about interiors, so I found all pictures and collaged them on, and even went to the trouble of contacting that so that it's really smooth. I remember we had to do an interior, big artwork that had all different interiors on it. So these were my example, like my test pages, learning about doing 3D shapes. And yeah, so in the end I did like a big house, it looked like a doll's house, so you could see inside all of the rooms. I've got testing out different materials. This is some ink. It is hard to use, but it is also very fun. The only problem is that it takes so long. Oh, it's on my birthday. There you go. Another diary entry. Obviously I meant to put something here, but didn't go back to them. Oh God. I was obsessed with doing this. So I used to do these little doodles of my friends. So that's, if you watch our vlogs, this is Cara, who just had her baby. That's Archie's, like one of Archie's first lifelong friends. This is Shannon, who came and visited Archie with the long blonde hair a little while ago. And I was obsessed with drawing little lady beetles, like super obsessed. And so, yeah, we're still going with some assignment. Ooh, I like that. So everyone else would just be a normal person and just like stick their worksheet into their book, but I couldn't let that happen. So even from a young age, I still like was obsessed with sticking things. And then look at this page. This is just an accumulation of random color coordinated bits and pieces, just, you know, everything everywhere. So then we went to the Archibald Prize in Year 9. I'm pretty sure we went there for an excursion. I actually went there. There's a vlog about that on our vlog channel, Mr. and Mrs Rad. It's a portraiture competition. And so this is when we had to paint a portrait, and I'm pretty sure I painted a portrait of the current Prime Minister, which was John Howard, and his bushy eyebrows. Oh, here's all my friends. Oh, this is a bit of a experimental Adele page. Look at that. It's crumpled up tissue paper. It looks like toilet paper. It's not an attractive page. Here's all of my little friends. Wow, it's funny to look back at who I was friends with. I'm still friends with quite a lot of these people. Yeah, it's just, I don't know what relevance this page has in life. I think I often did that. I think I often just did pages in here because I wanted to. Here's a face that I drew, trying to copy this face. I remember I had a little, down here I had a little collage, I think it was some wrapping paper that my nan had given me. It was vintage, and I put that on. Then practicing eyes and facial features. I remember we had to cut them out of magazines and try and copy them. Oh, hang on. Oh, there she is. Oh, it's not too bad. Not as bad as I remembered. So I think we had to show that we studied different, like, facial features, I think. So that's notes from my excursion. I hope you can see it all. Here's Mr. Squiggle. I remember when we were at the exhibition, we actually had to quickly draw like one of the portraits. So that was my quick drawing. And then, what's this one? This is an assignment of some sort. Is it? Wow, it's so weird to see my old last name. Yeah, there's an assignment stuck in. Self-portrait. That does not look like me at all. That That's probably what I wanted to look like, but that does not look like me at all. Pretty good nose though. I like the nose, but the eyes are not me. Nope. Here's all different painting techniques. I love pointillism. I love the dots. I struggle with it though because I'm not very patient. Ooh, so we've got some sand in here, some impasto, sponge, impasto and a skewer, modelling compound. You know I love my modelling compound, which is texture paste. I don't know what gingerbread men have to do with this page, but you know. So this was like my pride and joy, and you can see how much time I put into this because I outlined all of these letters and then coloured them in with highlighters and colour coordinated it. I'm just going to check the little beans because he's currently, oh, I don't know if you can see him there. He's currently having a snooze, so I can film. Here's another page where I've just stuck a whole heap of buttons on. Why are you still noisy? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Will he go back to sleep? Oh, I'll be back. I'm back. I lulled him back to sleep. Yeah, I think he might have had a nightmare and just woke up when I looked at the screen because he can't hear me when I turn the monitor on. But anyway, I cut out some fabric flowers. That fabric brings me back to year 9. I must have bought like 2 meters on sale. I made a bag and I made a cushion and I made a pencil case, and that just screams high school for me. So there's our very attractive Prime Minister, previous Prime Minister. We had to do an Australian celebrity or icon of the time, and and so this was who I chose, which was, looking back, was not an easy subject to do. Look at the effort, so much effort. So much effort. Yeah, it was not an easy subject matter to do at all. Here's a practice piece apparently. Oh, okay, we're giant. Oh, we have a giant face here. Yep, oh, baby's awake again. So there's giant John Howard. I'll be back. Okay, I'm now back and I have a little helper with me. Oh. Hi, Beans! I have a little helper. So we're going to see if we can flip through the rest of this one with my helper on my lap, because I haven't had work days for about 4 weeks now. So I'm trying to do what I can while Archie's here with me. So that's obviously, I needed to do a diary entry. Oh, we're out of focus, Archie. We're out of focus. There we go. Obviously I needed to do a diary entry but didn't want to put in a lot of effort. Here I probably just felt like some cake. And then looking at different skin tones, there's something about paint swatches that just makes me happy. I get very happy with paint swatches. I also was obsessed with doing this, the static swirls with a dark colour on the inside and then going out to lighter colours. Whoop. Can we turn that? There we go. More writing. More writing. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, so we had to write a talk about us. Oh, and this must have been where I slacked off a bit because I have a title page that hasn't been done. Random stuff. Random bits of pink. Oh, I remember I really liked this. So I cut my pages down to make like a mini book inside my art journal, because we got all this information and I wanted to include it but not have to go to the effort of doing every page. So this was about our pots, and then that's it. Some biscuits. But that's it for year 9. So obviously our art journals didn't get collected at the end of the year. So that was year 9 when I was like 13 and 14. And now let's get year 10. Arch, can you help me? Do you think you can get this one with me? Oh, it's a heavy one. It's a heavy, heavy one. Yes. Now this one I covered in photos. So I'll show you up close some of them. So, will it focus auto for me? Archie, don't pull it down, please. Please, miss. Do you like that, do you? Well, there's Minnie Adele on top of my dad. This was my dog Happy that I loved very much. It's my mum and dad. Here's some friends at my year 7 birthday party. Oh, Nellie, Jay-Z, Orlando Bloom. There I am in kindergarten. So let's see if we can fit this one in as much as we can. All right, some random bits and pieces in the front. I think there are assignments and things in there. And then here's my front page. Yes, the lollies aren't real, Archie. Yeah, they're not real. No. Alright, let's see what we've got. So, animaltures. Oh, this is when we did animal sculptures. So they were really fun. I did this weird one though. It was not attractive. I did like a spider butterfly thing. I can't really remember what it was. So there's some of my scripty font from back in the day. We had to do a collage of animal photos, which I loved doing. Some information on sculpture. Loved my highlighters. I must say I was quite a fan of my highlighters. And I really like doing this little cut apart bit. I think I might try and do that more in my like actual art journals. Yeah, what do you think, Arch? So I love the effort. Oh, and there's this pattern. So this is year 10 now, the next year, but still obsessed with doing that little squiggly pattern thing. I just love the amount of effort that I went to, but you can see where I've come from. I guess that's why I wanted to show you this, because I feel like a lot of the principles that I did here, you can see why I do the things that I do now. There's a diary entry with water lilies for no particular reason. Oh, some flip out little bits. There's another one. Lots of little flowers and squiggles, even like little circles. I still do those types of things. You should see Archie's desperately trying to push off the table. I remember this took forever to do. Please don't move the tripod, Mr. Boo. Please don't move the tripod. This took forever to do, but so worth it in the end. That same thing that I did in that other one with the dark colour first and then going out to the light colours. I really like that. Splatters, not Hardy Shine, but still splatters. Wrapping paper and leaves. Ah, I was doing a kangaroo. Oh, I remember. This wasn't the clay one at all. I did a really cool sculpture. I don't have a photo of it though, but it was a sculpture made out of found objects. Yeah, it was. And so I made a kangaroo and covered it with buttons and keys, and its body was a watering can, and then its head was a bucket. And yeah, so here I am writing all the things, and then I traced around. I love this page. I traced around all of the things that I was using, like lots of washers and keys and buttons and screws, and that's what it looked like. So I can't really turn it with Archie, but the pouch was a flag, and then its tail was made out of tin cans, and it had keys and buttons all glued to it. It was so difficult to make. Like, looking back, I could have had a much easier design. But instead I went for the difficult one because that's how I roll. So that was that one done. And then this one's called Eventful Prints. Now, was this when we did mono printing? Might have been when we did mono printing. Again, gel pens. People of my era will understand the love of gel pens. And then I just like I wouldn't often pair Edvard, is it Munch? Is that how you say his last name? The Scream artist, with the Gingerbread Man, Little Red Riding Hood and the Three Bears. I don't understand what I was thinking with that, but you know, there you go. Ah, so this was a mini etching plate that we did. So I've etched on the back of it and done a print, and that was the result. So that's pretty cute in there. My chosen design. Oh, okay, I put a note. I had to put this on top to protect the photos from the pencil on the opposite page. Oh, look, it's little Adele. Okay, Mr. Beans, do you think you could crawl on the floor for a minute? Do you want to go on the floor? Okay, Archie's on the floor next to me, so we'll see how this goes. But look, it's mini Adele. So we had to pick a time in our lives to do an etching, and so I picked kindergarten. So these are all photos of me when I was in kindergarten. Oh, so cute. Very, very cute. All right, let's turn this around. There we go. Sorry for the shakiness. So here's we had to photocopy it so that we could trace over the top of it. Here's all of my friends again. Don't know why. Don't know what relevance they have in my thing. I'm still friends with, there's Karen, my bestie Kaz. I'm still friends with quite a few of these. Karen, Kelly, and Shannon and Nina, and there's, yeah, it's funny to look at what I called them too. All right, so I've got my first punch, went a bit punch happy, and then this was this was the piece that I etched onto. So this is all etched on the back there. It was quite tricky. Yes, it was. Okay, so this, I think we're gonna have to go sideways for this one. God, this book is heavy, and I used to lug this to school every single day. Oh, what are you doing, Mr. Raspberry Man? What are you doing, Mr. Raspberry Man? Archie was just going backwards a bit too far. So, 5 prints, 5 ways. Let's have a look. Alrighty, so we've got the first one, which is colouring with chalks. I obviously didn't like that one very much. And then we've got watercolours, 8 out of 10. God, there's some chalky watercolours. The quality of those is not the best. I do love this and my scripty font and the swatch. I'm just mad for swatches, love them. Then soft pencil and texture. Okay. This is really cool too. And you can see, look, I did stamps. So this is all stamping that I had. Pencils, 7 out of 10. They look like Derwents. And then monochromatic. Oh, that's a bit different. Archie's blowing raspberries in the background. If you can hear anything, it's not from me. Yes, I can hear you, Arch. Oh gosh, and then it comes out again. So then we had to do I think this was a lino carving, and so I did lino carving of my kindergarten. So what teacher I had, what school I went to, my school logo, and that's my design for that. We did a lot. We had a great art teacher. She was brilliant. So this is my mono print here. Are you stuck? Are you stuck, Mr. Moose? Oh no. You're stuck. There you go. There you go. You're all right. Filming at home with a baby is not easy. So this was my monoprint, how it turned out. So you had to carve everything backwards so that it turned out forwards. Archie's just rolling around, if you can hear him grumbling. So this was in black with watercolour. And then this one's a bit of like an ombre inking. We had to do lots of different tests, I think, for this one. It's an artist study. Lots of buttons. Lots of raspberries from Archie, but lots of buttons. And then, oh, this one, what were these? A colograph. So this was when you made a print board that was made out of like stuff. So it was made out of ropes and corrugated cardboard, and you cut out the shapes that you wanted. This was hard to make it look like people. So I've got the objects and then I've printed them over here, which I really like. Obsessed with these stamps. This was my first like proper stamp, and then these are stamps as well. Still loving the alphabet stamps. And then my diary entry pages, I kind of just made them whatever theme I liked. I don't know why I chose that theme. So this was what my colograph turned out like. Oh, here it is here. Yeah, so we had to stick the items on and then put shellac over it, which is made out of, as gross as this sounds, it's made out of cockroach shells, which kind of seals it. Archie, are you right with your raspberries? Hang on, I've got to show you him. Mr. Raspberry, what are you doing? Hi! What are you doing with your leggies? Really? Good. Jeez Louise! Good. Oh. Don't blow raspberry at all the inklets? Acha. Are you blowing raspberries at them? Alright, back to the journals, okay? You be good. Okay, I reckon I've got about 5 to 10 minutes before he loses the plot, so I'm going to try and get through this bun for you. So then they were my prints, and it's a lot harder to get a print from a colograph than it is the lino prints or the etching that I did before. Then photographic elements of structure. I can't, oh, this was our photography one. I really like, I hope I've got some of my photos in here. Maybe I don't. Oh, maybe I don't. This is when we went on an excursion and we had to photograph all of the different things. I really would love to go back to having an art journal that was like this, like that's kind of testing and sketching rather than just painty stuff. Yes, this was our first little bit into photography, learning about developers and fixers. So this was year 10, and then I went on to go do photography as a subject in year 11 and 12. Archie Moose! Oh, I seem to have, oh, we might have a photo. There you go, here's a couple. So, oh, we took photos around the school. I'm thinking of a year 11 photography one that we did. Archie is blowing raspberries like there's no tomorrow. Oh, these are pictures of my friends. So we developed the negatives. Oh, wow. I remember I said to my friend, quick, get in the bush. And I took a photo of her in the bush because that's what you do. Oh, wow. Archie! So then in year 10, when I was in year 10, we had the school certificate, which was our final certificate that we did at the end, and some people left at the end of year 10 to go do apprenticeships, like trade apprenticeships. Archie's raspberries are very, very distracting. I'm sorry. Oh, Mr. Moo-Moos. Hey? Can I come up and say goodbye? Oh. Oh. Alright. I think this little one is ready to go a-crawling. Do you want to say bye to everyone? Say bye! You can't get the camera. No. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little look into my Inkie Rewind, into my older journals. And I'll go through the other ones when this little man is asleep next. And maybe put them up next month. But thanks for watching today. Let me know in the comments below, what arty creative things did you used to do during your childhood or your teen years? These were definitely my babies. My art books were my babies. I've just realised there's photos on the back too. So there's baby Adele, and then I was obsessed, still am, with Pharrell Williams and Nelly. There's all photos on the back. But yeah, let me know in the comments below, what was your like childhood or teenage arty creative hobbies. So mine was definitely my art journals, my art books, and painting. I'd say they'd be my two. Anyway guys, I'm gonna go tame this little mini human, and we might go have a play and a cuddle, and I'll see you all very soon. Archie, ready to wave? Bye! Nope, doesn't want to wave. Bye!